Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to have a pep talk with you about Palantir and the market because it is crazy out there. It's just a sea of red out there. I know so many of you are, underwater on Palantir and many of your stock investments. And I always wanted to, I imagine that my role would be is, like someone who keeps optimism and, keeps reminding you of, why you have invested and, how to keep on track and just focus on the mountain. And this is the purpose of this video. I want to share with you my thoughts and if I'm buying more Palantir or not at this price and what I'm thinking about doing. If you're interested, stay tuned. And if you like this content, as always, please make sure you hit the subscribe button that is down below. And if you want to go even further, you can support the channel by checking out the first link in the description box below, which takes you to our Patreon, where you can support the channel from $5 a month and get access to me personally and to all the evaluations and tables that we do about companies that we cover on this channel, which at this point is pretty much only Tesla and Palantir. So here we go. Let's have an honest talk about the market. Today, there is a sea of red, and I know this is what my TradingView watch list looked like. Palantir down 7%, Tesla down 5.71%, Bitcoin and Ethereum down 12 and 15%. Very interestingly, the anti-inflationary assets fall insanely much when the inflation is high. Very curious. Even gold is down today. There's just nowhere to hide. Apple is down. Everything is down. It really feels like the world is about to end. And I know that these times are hard. However, through tough times, this is when fortunes are made. I wanted to share my thoughts about if we are at the bottom, and I want to tell you why you shouldn't be buying stocks. And then we're going to take an interesting look at something else. Peter Lynch, I read 2 of his books, and he has a very big point about buying a company when it has turned around, meaning that he gives full of examples of, Nike getting in trouble, sales slowing. And he said it was a fantastic buying opportunity that at that time, you were getting in the mail the quarterly reports of the companies. And if you were reading them, he was saying that basically nobody was reading them. You could see that, the orders were going back up. They were, inventory was going down. They were having an easier and easier time to sell. Yet the stock price kept going down. So at that point, he considered that it was a very safe investment. So in our case, the market downturn is caused by inflation. And, you could buy saying, yeah, we have gone down so much that, we need to start buying. But the truth is inflation still hasn't peaked. So from this Peter Lynch viewpoint, inflation can go much higher. And this can make the Fed way more aggressive. So it's from that viewpoint, the safe point to buy would be when, you have 2-3 months of inflation data very low and, the Fed seeming to have taken control and it seems like the Fed has handled the situation. That would be a very good entry point in the current market and not now. Then this is the second point. Inflation can only be handled by reducing the demand or increasing the supply. Right now, the things that are keeping the inflation high is the worker shortage and, the very high energy prices and the supply chains. Unfortunately, none of these, I've done a lot of videos about it, are fast handlings. There is an anti-investment climate when it comes to oil in the US. And therefore, the world is very underinvested into oil infrastructure and it will be very hard to increase the oil production. Therefore, you can only destroy the demand for oil. Then, for example, the worker shortage could be taken care of by increasing the pension age and, taking down the unemployment benefits. So you sort of force people back into the worker market. But I understand that this is a very hard thing for politicians to do and it's very not feasible. So, that is not going to handle. And on the supply chains, the COVID has messed things up, China has messed things up, and the real solution is to reorganize the supply chains and build new factories in other countries that are easier to deal with, and that takes time. So there's no fast handling on supply. So therefore, the only viable option for the Fed is to destroy the demand, and they're going to do it. They have the mandate to do it now because inflation keeps going up. So these are, I believe, and I think that it takes, even if the Fed is raising interest rates now, it takes, anywhere between 6 to 18 months to really, really see the results. And I think that 2023 and 2024 are going to be very, very tough years from the economy. So now, what is very interesting is let's flip the coin and let's look at why you should invest now. So the stock market is future looking. And if you look at the growth stocks, they have been falling since about 1 year before the Fed started increasing the interest rates in anticipation of the interest rates going up. The growth stocks, therefore, I think will hit market bottom before, Apple, Microsoft, and all the safety stocks are going to hit bottom. And yes, some stocks are crazy high. For example, Shopify is a stock that I looked at recently. And even though they are 80% down, I think that they are still crazy overpriced. But then there is some stocks where the price is so stupid low. I give you a few examples. For example, Rivian, electric car company, they have no debt on the balance sheet and their current market cap is almost exactly the same as the cash that they have on account. So that is essentially saying that if the price goes any lower, it means that you could buy the company, liquidate them, and just get the cash that they have on account, and you would be making money. And that is essentially saying that you're getting the company for free, even for, less than zero now at this price. Palantir is another stock that I very much like. Rivian, I'm not saying to buy that stock. I'm just saying how low the price is. Yeah, and there's tons of other stocks, but not everything. So the thing is, nobody knows when the market is going to bottom. And this concept that the market is, bottoming, many people think that there's a magic day and the whole market bottoms at that time. And I did a video about this, that the market didn't peak at the same time. Tesla peaked in November, I believe, Shopify in August, Palantir in February. It's going to be the same with the bottoms. So most probably when people feel like taking more risk, then they will go into more riskier assets and growth stocks, and they will be selling their Apples and safety stocks and their S&P 500 index funds to go back into growth stocks. So I think that you will see, when the S&P 500 keeps falling and growth stocks start, going up. So my point is that you never know where the bottom is. So what is the best thing that you can do in this market? You need to not panic. You need to brighten up, because you need to know that this is a once in a decade opportunity to buy stocks at a discount. You need to know your evaluations and think of this as an opportunity. So as for the evaluations, I have done a lot of videos on Palantir valuations. There is many other YouTubers. I really suggest that you learn how to do valuations so that you get an idea where the stock is trading, so you don't get, scared when the stock price moves against you. The best thing, if you really apply this strategy for you, is that we get 2-3 years of the market doing nothing or even going down, because that means that if you're buying every month or every few months, then you're able to accumulate a lot of shares. And then when the market bounces up, you have huge positions in the companies that you like, and then you will really reap the benefits. Imagine, maybe this is, a new thought for you, but imagine if you would buy Palantir for $30,000 and then it would shoot up 10x, and then your $30,000 10x, as opposed to, buying for $30,000 now, $30,000 in another 6 months, and then $30,000 in another 6 months, and then $30,000 in another 6 months, maybe at even lower prices than now. And then all of a sudden, 10xing in 2025, but at that time your position size is not $30,000, but maybe $200,000. During all this time, you have to keep not panicking. And if you feel that this is hard and you're scratching your head at this, then you need to focus on increasing your income. I think that there's not enough talk in the YouTube investment or any investment community about the importance of investing your income. There's so many people who even comment on this channel that, they bought one Palantir because they only had $10 and they still wanted to be invested in Palantirs. And I'm honestly saying that those $10 would be better spent in, buying books about how to increase your income, or, how to negotiate better, how to sell better. I like to use this story that I bought a book from Trump's lawyer, How to Negotiate Like Trump. It was a $10 book. And the day after I read it, I went into negotiation and saved $5,000. So that was like one of the best returns that I've ever gotten. So in these very hard times, invest into yourself, increase your skills, increase your income so that you can do the strategy that I was telling you. So Palantir, that's the stock that many of you who watch my channel are invested in. This is how I apply this theory. Based on my calculations, which I believe are quite pessimistic, If you get a price below 934 on Palantir stock, then you are getting a 30% compound annual return up to 2025. So anything below that gives a crazy high return. The funny thing is that this company is doing better than ever. I made also tons of videos about this. The supply chain issues basically increases the demand of the big companies to use Palantir. War between Russia and Ukraine is something that increases the European governments and NATO's need for Palantir, and we got this picture with Alex Karp and Vladimir Zelensky, which basically confirmed that Palantir is helping them. They are even going to set up a Ukrainian office. So it's going better than ever for the company. So the inflation is even a tailwind for this company again, because it increases the need for, using the data and being more effective in companies. And their customers are, governments and super big companies that are really not affected by inflation. This is a prime example of everything in a company getting better, yet the stock price, keep going lower. And I just remember a video that I saw with Jeff Bezos when he was talking about the dot-com bubble, and that he saw that the Amazon stock price was 95% down, and he was scratching his head because every statistic in the company that he was looking at was better than ever, and the company was doing better than ever, and he didn't understand what was happening. This is what I feel a little bit is the case with Palantir. Now, me and my dad recently have sent $30,000 to the market, and we have been waiting for, bad times so that we can invest this money. And today might be the day. I got a call from him and we are going to have a serious talk. We are looking at Tesla. This is just so that to tell you what I'm doing. So Tesla, I believe, is going to go lower. I have a dream to buy the stock below $600. So I think it's not quite there yet. Netflix is a fantastically looking opportunity, but there is so many other stocks now to look at. I also really want to buy more Palantir. So basically we're going to look at our valuations and we're going to see what is the best risk reward and what has the best upside. I don't know. It could be Palantir, could be Tesla, could be Netflix. I will of course make a video about it. It might be that we still wait and we buy nothing for a few more days. Are you a Palantir investor? How do you feel? What is your market sentiment? Are you panicking? Are you having diamond hands and just waiting this out? Are you dollar cost averaging? What is your thoughts about this video? Thank you so much for watching if you have been watching this far, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.